Texas Tech students spend hundreds of hours each semester in the classroom, but there are opportunities to get some real-world experience. Coming up, MCTV's Patricia Perry has a special look at how one group of media and communication students are stepping out of the classroom to make a difference in the local community.
Red Raiders have had no shortage of event options over the last few weeks. MCTV's Matthew Zimmerman has the details on the concluding event to a one recent week-long celebration that helped attendees learn more about Tech's multicultural community.
And Texas Tech football is only 2 days away from what could be the most important game of the 2021 season. MCTV's Austin Seat has a preview of Texas Tech versus Kansas State and what's on the line for the Red Raiders in sports.
This is the MCTV Weekday Update.
Welcome to the Thursday edition of the MCTV's Weekday Update. I'm Chris Olivares.
And I'm Zach Herbrandson.
It's National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week here at Texas Tech, taking time to bring attention to one of the biggest issues on almost all university campuses. Since Monday, several university groups have used a series of events to get students to make safe choices while having some fun. Yesterday, the Student Activities Board, along with the Office of Risk Intervention and Safety Education, hosted drunk goggle lawn games in the Red Raider Plaza. Students could try on a pair of goggles and attempt to play several outdoor games to stimulate impaired vision due to intoxication. The goal of the event was to educate students on the dangers of excessive drinking.
Show them what it is. Like a lot of students, like, they drink and stuff, and they don't really know the consequences of what really entails of being under the influence. And if something were to happen, like, they don't really know the consequences. Like, there's so many consequences that could happen to them, and just bringing awareness to it, make them think twice about it before making a decision.
Along with yesterday's event, Alcohol Awareness Week also included a kickoff celebration on Monday, a drunk driving simulation on Tuesday, and Wednesday finished out with spooky bingo in the sub. Tonight, the Center for Collegiate Recovery Communities will be hosting a celebration of recovery at the CCRC Open Serenity Center at 7 p.m. Those who have recently recovered from addiction will be honored during the hour-long event. Tonight's celebration of recovery is also the last in-person event for this year's Alcohol Awareness Week.
Since Monday, National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week has given students several options to find an escape from schoolwork. But last week, the Tech community had more choices than they could possibly attend during the annual Pride and International Week celebrations. Both featured week-long schedules of events, with International Week wrapping up on Saturday with an annual salute to the university's cultural diversity. MCTV's Matthew Zimmerman stopped by the event to bring us the story.
It's been amazing. Like, I never knew there were so many Egyptians. I've met like 6 or 7 right now. and the clothes, amazing. Like the Russian, I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty cool.
On Saturday, the Department of International Affairs, along with various other international organizations, joined together hosting their annual Culture Fest event.
This is our 5th year doing Culture Fest, and what we're about is promoting culture in the community and exposing the Lubbock community, the Texas Tech community, to the diversity that exists here on Texas Tech's campus.
The event provided a comfortable, safe, and open environment for people to be able to express their cultures and traditions to the public.
Visitors were allowed to take part in many of the event festivities, learning international and traditional dances, partaking in arts and crafts, as well as trying out different international foods made by some of the different organizations present at the event, such as this baklava and baba ganoush made by the Arabic Language Student Organization.
We really just want to be a part of the community, and a lot of people feel certain types of way about like the Arabic community and stuff like that. And so we thought, what's better than to just like get out there and let people know like we're good people, you know, we have good food, good music, good dresses, good culture. Like, come and learn about us.
Culture Fest served as a great outlet for underrepresented groups to have a place to shine, introducing attendees to different cultures and customs that they may not have been exposed to before the event.
We all need to experience all different cultures so many things to learn. And this isn't just the only thing you should do. Like, go off and go to concerts, go to festivals, go to events, buy the clothes, buy the ingredients for the food, make the food. I want people to like look at us here, all of us here, and think, I want to incorporate their culture into my everyday life and their food into my everyday life, because it's fun.
For MCTV, I'm Matthew Zimmerman.
The 2021 edition of Pride Week also wrapped up at the end of last week, but not before the campus community had the chance to enjoy two signature events. The Office of the LGBTQIA Education and Engagement hosted the annual Pride Week Poetry Slam last Wednesday in the sub-ballroom. Students had the chance to showcase their verbal artistry while competing for the top prize. The Poetry Slam also included a performance by a well-known slam poet who had become a staple of Tech's yearly event.
We hosted our guest artist, Reggie Cabico, who's in from Washington, D.C. We've done that for the past 3 years. We also do it at the summit that we host. So it's something that people are always excited about, and I'm always excited to hear about the lived experiences of our slam poets. And it's always a great experience for people who are just here watching and enjoying the entertainment.
At the end of the event, senior Gil Callie was named this year's winner, followed by runner-up Dominique Murphy. Attendees also chose sophomore Macy Davis for the 2021 Audience Choice Award. Wednesday's Poetry Slam was the first in-person slam event at Texas Tech since the pandemic forced organizers to host a virtual event in 2020.
This year's Pride Week festivities included at least one event in each day last week. And last Monday, the 2021 celebration kicked off with the annual Boots, Bows, and Rainbow Ties Gala in the sub-ballroom. The evening began with dinner and a spoken word performance by Reggie Cabico, followed by a special welcome from Carol Sumner, the Vice President of Tech's Division of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. The keynote speaker for Monday's events was Dr. Karen Blair from Trent University in Canada. Blair was unable to attend in person, but she shared her research on public affection in same-sex versus mixed-sex relationships with the audience via Zoom. Monday's gala was one of the more than a dozen events and activities held during Pride Week, giving the campus community the chance to learn about the strides Texas Tech has made with the university's LGBT+ population.
We've gone from being about 260-something on the Campus Pride Index to being in the top 30 in the country. And with that 5-star ranking, that speaks to the fact that whether it's our policies, our programs, our services, our procedures, or just campus climate, we've changed the way we look at sexuality and gender on this campus.
Along with the Office of LGBTQI Education and Engagement, other university groups hosted several events last week, including the Tech Gender and Sexuality Association, RISE, and the Women and Gender Studies program. Pride Week finished out with one of the week's biggest events, the Miss Glamour and Fame Drag Pageant on Friday night. It's been a bit of a roller coaster of temperatures this week here on Tech campus, but as we've seen a near 10-degree jump from highs from one day to the next.
That's true, Zach. Temperatures climbed near 90 degrees on Tuesday, but on yesterday we topped out in the high 70s. So will the unpredictable conditions continue into the weekend? Let's take a look at MCTV's forecast. The MCTV's tower cam has been showing a lot of cloud cover throughout the day. Earlier this morning, overcast conditions made a gloomy start to morning classes, but the clouds have been thinning out since noon. The cloud cover should fully make its way out of the area by early evening, and we should see the clear skies throughout the night. But by tomorrow morning, the clouds will return and stick around through the weekend. Temperatures today have only climbed into the low 70s, and that should continue to be the case until around sunset. Temperatures will fall back into the mid-50s tonight, making for a mild evening. Tomorrow we'll see a slight increase in temperatures with highs back in the low 80s. The up and down trend will then continue until Saturday, with highs once again nearing 90 degrees in the afternoon. But fans heading to Saturday's football game might want to grab a jacket with temperatures starting out in the 60s around kickoff. On Sunday, the 80-degree highs will stick around, but winds should be breezy throughout the day. Looking ahead, the spookiest week of the year will start off with another round of 80-degree highs before a slight cool-off by midweek.
Texas Tech students take a variety of classes throughout their college careers, including many that give near real-world experience to prepare them for life after graduation.
But one group of students here at the College of Media and Communication are doing much more than simulating the professional world. They are getting actual experience while helping out the local community. MCTV's Patricia Perry has the details.
I'm out here at Two Docs for their Harvest Festival, where the Texas Tech Advertising Campaign class has partnered up with Two Docs to benefit the Ronald McDonald House Charities of the Southwest. This event has food trucks, vendors, and much more out here donating part of their proceeds to the Ronald McDonald House Charities. This campaign class is a semester-long class where students work together to create an event to benefit a local charity. Advertising students are required to take this class to prepare them for their industry. This gives them a taste of what life will be like once they graduate and start working. Student Scott Mitchell shares why he thinks this class will be beneficial for his future.
In advertising, to graduate, our very last class we take is campaigns, and that puts everything we've learned the past 4 years together. So, yeah, this is actually really cool, being able to work with a real-life client, have an actual budget, get to really set up a real event. You know, before this, it's all just kind of books and tests, you know, and so now it's, I don't know, definitely helps us feel more confident going into graduation this December and going to the workforce, actually get some real-life experience.
These students were given the task of appealing to a college-age audience. The advertising students' overall goal was to inform everyone about everything the Ronald McDonald House does for people of all ages. Student Gage Brockman shares his story of how the charity has impacted someone in his life.
My roommate, his sister, she passed away of cancer, and so like he stayed in Brockman, so it means a lot to him, and it means like I know it means a lot of people. We just wanted to make it bring awareness for college students, like people our age, and just make something that would appeal to them.
Two Docs said they were happy to host this event and hopes to help out the Ronald McDonald House and the Texas Tech students. For MCTV, I'm Patricia Perry.
Texas Tech's athletic department is well into the fall season, with another busy weekend in store for Red Raider fans.
MCTV's Austin Seat has a look back at the recent action along with a preview of what's next for Tech athletics and sports. Austin?
Thanks, Zach and Chris. With many of Tech's athletic teams already midway through their season, the Red Raiders are currently making a push for a playoff or postseason chance going into this week. However, that will be harder to achieve than some people might think. First up on this week's schedule is the Red Raider soccer team going up against the Kansas Jayhawks with only 2 more games left before the Big 12 championship. The Red Raiders, who sit at 10-4-2 overall and 3-3-1 in conference, are coming back to the John Walker Soccer Complex for senior night after a 2-0 loss to the West Virginia Mountaineers. Both teams battled to a scoreless first half, which saw Tech fire off 3 shots with 1 coming on goal as West Virginia recorded 7 with 4 on the frame. Madison White kept the Mountaineers off the board with 4 saves, including a big early stop in the 7th minute inside the 6-yard line. In the second half, West Virginia broke the tie in the 71st minute with a floating shot from the right side of the net that found the left corner for the 1-0 lead. From there, Giselle Kozarski had an opportunity to level the game, but was denied the chance towards the bottom left of the net. TTU continued to create chances with another shot by Kozarski just going over the crossbar in the 81st minute. Continuing to look for the equalizer, Tech started to push more numbers at the top, playing with 2 Red Raiders in the back. West Virginia made it 2-0 with 51 seconds left on the counter after an initial save from White. In the final 10 seconds, Cassie Hyatt and Charlotte Teeter each registered 1 more shot attempt as Hyatt's was blocked and Teeter's just skipped past the left post. Tech recorded 8 shots with 3 coming on frame, as West Virginia registered 14 with 7 on frame. Tech returns home to face Kansas tomorrow on October 22nd for senior night. Coverage of the game can be found on ESPN+. Moving over to the court, the Red Raider volleyball team is coming back after a huge win against the Oklahoma Sooners in Norman and improving their record to 13-8 on the season. With only 4 teams left in 8 games, the Red Raiders are looking to make a strong run for playoff potential. The Texas Tech volleyball team bounced back from Thursday night's loss against the Sooners to split the series with a sweep of Oklahoma Friday night in Norman. The win marked the first win over the Sooners on the road since 2002 and the first sweep for the Red Raiders in Big 12 play this season. The Red Raiders hit a season-best .398 as a team while holding the Sooners to a .186 hitting clip. Kenna Sawyer led Tech with a double-double of 17 kills and 11 digs. Caitlin Dugan and Brooke Canas each added 8 kills. KJ Adam paced the Red Raiders with 18 digs, and Alex Kirby recorded 38 assists. Alex Torres matched her season high with 3 aces, accounting for half of the Red Raiders' 6 in the match. Texas Tech opened the match with a convincing 25-16 set 1 win after leading 15-14 at the media break. The Red Raiders used a 10-2 run to take the first set, winning the final 6 points in the frame. The Red Raiders carried the momentum over into the second set, taking a 5-point lead to force an Oklahoma timeout up 13-8. Tech increased the lead to 7 with back-to-back kills from Dugan as the Sooners took their second timeout. Once again, the Red Raiders closed out the set on a run, winning the final 4 points, capped off with an ace from Sawyer for the 25-17 win. Tech stormed ahead with 8 straight points in the start of the third set to take a commanding 8-1 lead. Tech pushed the lead to 9, reaching the 20-point mark on an Oklahoma attack error. The Sooners attempted a late rally, stringing together 3 straight points to make it 22-15, but the Red Raiders easily held them off, taking the match with a 25-16 set 3 win. The Red Raiders dominated from the start, allowing just 13 ties and 5 lead changes all match. 5 Red Raiders hit above 300 as the team combined for 10 errors, a team low in the Big 12 play this season. The Red Raiders get a much-needed week off before heading back on the road next Wednesday and Thursday to face Kansas State in Manhattan. And finally, to end this week, this Saturday is Parents' Weekend, and the Red Raider football team is returning home to the Jones to face the Kansas State Wildcats in a Big 12 matchup and a potential opportunity for head coach Matt Wells to be bowl eligible for the first time in Lubbock. This, of course, is coming off a big 41-14 win in Lawrence, Kansas last week against the Jayhawks. Henry Colombi threw for a touchdown and ran for another as Texas Tech had 4 rushing touchdowns in the win over Kansas on Saturday afternoon. Colombi was 14 for 20 passing for 124 yards and added 35 rushing yards, while Jason Bean was 11 for 21 passing for 80 yards and 1 interception for Kansas. Texas Tech had 3 rushing touchdowns by Colombi, Erica Zukama, and Miles Price to lead 24-0 at halftime. Donovan Smith added a rushing touchdown in the third quarter. Over the past 2 seasons combined, this matchup had been decided by a total of 6 points. Texas Tech showed this year there's still a big difference between the programs. The Red Raiders held Kansas to 20 passing yards and only 4 first downs in the first half. Texas Tech had 438 yards with 244 of those yards coming on the ground. Sir Roderick Thompson ran for 83 yards and Erica Zukama had 76 receiving yards. The Jayhawks' Luke Grimm had 33 receiving yards and a touchdown, and Devin Neal ran for 54 yards. The Red Raiders were spectacular on third downs, going for 9 for 11 and held Kansas to 5 and 13. They were also a perfect 6 for 6 in the red zone, and Kansas was 2 for 2. Texas Tech returns home with its 5-2 record and sights set on bowl eligibility as Kansas State travels to town for an 11 a.m. showdown at the Jones AT&T Stadium. This weekend also marks Family Weekend at Texas Tech, a tradition since 1936. Coverage of the game can be found on FS1. Well, that is all for sports. Back to you, Zach.
Thanks, Austin. You may not know it, but the Lubbock area is home to some of the largest and most well-known wineries in the state of Texas. And each year, one local facility takes time to celebrate the end of the growing season. On Saturday, Lubbock's Llano Escotado Winery hosted the 27th annual Grape Day celebration at the winery's headquarters, located just south of the city limits. People from all over the area stopped by the event to enjoy a taste of Llano's current offerings, along with food, live music, and the chance to learn more about the area's oldest winery.
So it's our largest festival every year that we do. So it's an annual festival kind of celebrating the end of the harvest season, which usually lasts until mid-October, sorry. And so we're just celebrating, festival and this harvest time that we have. So we bring out local food trucks, local music, local vendors, and we just kind of have a fun day, drink some wine, and enjoy each other's company.
Grape Day may be Llano Escatado's largest event, but the facility also plays host to weddings, meetings, and many other events throughout the year. The tasting room is also open year-round, and guests can enjoy free tours of the facility every Tuesday through Sunday. For more information on Lubbock's Llano Estacado Winery, visit llanowine.com.
So Zach, have you ever been out to any of the local wineries?
I wish that I have. Unfortunately, I'm 20 years old, so I got another year to go. But if you could let me know how they taste, I might stop by next year.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll definitely keep you updated. That's all for today's edition of MCTV's Weekly Update.
Thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to check out ttuhub.net every day for more news. We'll see you next week.